Good morning, bedheads. Click. How cute is this mug? You've probably seen this before. I see quite a few of these at thrift stores. It's Karen from Ask the Spirit Guides. This is to give you a nice smile today. How you doing? So we have a lot to talk about today. I know it's Friday and I'm here. Woo! There's just too much to talk about. And it's really interesting to me because I am starting to understand my connection with my guides with just downloads. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about that going forward in some other videos. But I've been getting a lot of downloads lately, let's just say. And the more I work with understanding my spirit guides and my team and my higher self and trusting we're currently reading this book, Let Your Spirit Guides Speak. Amazing book, by the way. Just there's so many like ahas in here. So the more I understand it, the more all of a sudden I am starting to get downloads. I'm like, whoa. And I've always gotten downloads. I'm just trusting them as actual downloads. So you're getting downloads too. We're all mediums. We're all intuitives, let's just say. The reason I hesitate to call myself a medium is it just my perception of what a medium is. Okay. Obviously, I have the communication through the dowsing rods and the pendulum, and but I do hesitate. I just don't prefer the label for myself. Like, I don't think we need to label ourselves. We're all intuitive. We all have spirit teams. We're all intuitive. We're all downloading things. It's just that you think, you're deciphering between your ego and whether it's a download from your spirits. And actually she talks about that. I didn't mean to talk about it today, but she talks about that in here. It was just a chapter 5 we were just reading in the Spirit Circle. And well, actually we're not on chapter 5. We just got done on chapter 4, but I was reading chapter 5 last night to get ready. And I'm going to bring that to another couple of other videos, some of the downloads that I've been getting. But anyway, so let's talk a little bit about, I want to talk about how America has taken one for the team. And by team, I mean world. I want to talk about Pope Leo XIV. Woo woo. I think it's very good news, actually. So we'll talk about that. I want to talk about how I've gotten a download basically of evidence of how love is winning right now, which is credit to Venia in my near-death experience, my NDE from A to Z. It's a channel that I love on YouTube. I will post her video below, or her channel below in the description. So evidence of love winning, you're going to hear me talking about that more and more. Because she's planted that in my brain, and now I'm asking for evidence of love winning. Okay. And I think it's an amazing thing, like something to consider if you want to consider asking for that guidance as well. Downloads for you, just something might pop into your brain of evidence of love winning. Okay. Wouldn't that be a great place to sit in just seeing evidence of love winning, even in the hard stuff, So that's kind of my new approach today. And and then I got a message from our spirit teams. Okay, a collective message. And we'll do an oracle pull from Keepers of the Light today. This is the deck our teams wanted us to use, our spirit guides wanted us to use today. Okay, so America taking one for the team. That has become, so love is winning. Love is winning around the world, thanks to America. Meaning, thanks to the MAGAs for supposedly electing. We'll find out. Someday we'll find out. For supposedly electing Cheeto, Ronald, Orange McDonald, which is not one people call him. What do you guys call him? There was a funny one. Again, just got to keep it light. I think it's funny calling them names, which is, such a fifth grade thing to do. Although we have a fifth grade teacher in our community, and she said, no, fifth graders don't even act like that, which is hilarious. Fifth graders don't act like Dumpy does. Somebody called him Trumple Thinskin. Trumple thin skin. It's totally true. I mean, I have a thin skin too. So, I mean, I'm working on that. Just feelers and empaths, it's like this thing. But narcissists, yeah, really. Trumple thin skin. Okay, anyways. So, America, what I mean by that, like it was a download I got yesterday. I was like, oh yeah, America takes another one for the team. Because so when Pope Leo the 14th was confirmed yesterday, so that was what I got is America takes another one for the team because I am more and more and more because of my spiritual work and the exploration that I'm doing, am really seeing a world without borders. And so it's like, which is a beautiful place to be, because even when I get presented now or I hear news or something about that country and this country, it's almost starting to not make sense to me, which is really interesting. I think that's like a shift from the 3D to the 4D for sure. So it's not making sense to me at all. And I'm like, okay, I have to like remember that that's a thing. I don't know. It's very strange. So anyways, us taking another one for the world, basically, because if you've noticed, this is how love is winning, because Trumple Thin Skin was, was elected, supposedly, in the United States, look at how, because it woke people up. Yes, woke. It's an amazing word, the word woke. It's amazing. What's wrong with waking up? I'd rather be awake than asleep, in terms of my consciousness. It is waking people up around the world quicker than it is waking people up here. And they're reacting, hence the election in Canada, the election in Australia. Way to go, Australia. I haven't congratulated you. Now with Pope Leo, I'm sure there's other examples that I'm missing. Okay. So, and these people, like, if I'm correct, I might not have total details right about this, but Canada, my understanding is Trudeau actually stepped down because that party was so far behind. It was kind of like a Biden stepping down and Harris going forward because the party was so far behind in points. And so that's why Mark Carney stepped in. That's my understanding. I could be wrong about that. I heard that from someone, but I didn't research it. So then he won like by a considerable amount because of Trumple Thin Skin. Okay. Okay. I just think it's so funny. He won by a considerable amount because it woke people up in other countries. So love is winning around the world. So pretty amazing, right? So that's why I say America took one for the team. And this is good. This all had to happen this way. So people could see that conservatism or the extreme conservatism. I'm all for being conservative, especially fiscally conservative, but I'm talking about humanity, human rights conservative, like ridiculous, ridiculousness in that direction. Or white neo-liberalism, neo-Nazism or whatever. Okay. So, but yeah, so I think love is winning big time, big time. And I look at us and sometimes I feel like, oh, why couldn't that have happened here? But this was happening all over the world. Obviously, we're starting to see how there was a division between the light and the dark, let's just say. Okay. And we needed someplace. And because America has a particular image around the world, I can see why maybe that had to happen here. So the rest of the world could go, oh boy, we don't want that in our countries. So kind of cool, huh? I don't know. What do you think about that? That's just a kind of a little download that I got yesterday. I'm going to start saying downloads because I'm going to start trusting. I can kind of tell the difference now, and I'm going to start trusting my guides as to like when they plant little seeds in my head, something that just came to me. Like when something just comes to you, like I wasn't even thinking about it, when something just comes to you, you can trust that that's guidance from your guides. That's kind of how I see it. So you don't have to hear it. It's just like something just came to you. Okay. So Pope Leo the 14th, I found this very interesting. I don't know. There was a whole bunch of different things you could watch on YouTube yesterday. And so I was watching, I don't even know which one I was watching, but there was a commentator on there who was very aware of the history of the papacy, papacy, whatever it's called. Okay, so like the history of the Catholic Church, let's just say, and the popes. Okay. And I mean, he was just like going, like educating us on, all the different popes there was. He was going back to like 1891. So anyways, he had mentioned, I wrote this down. I literally stopped the video to write down exactly what he said. And then this morning I went in and asked AI to give me more specific information, which was very interesting because DeepSeek, if anybody's using DeepSeek, it only goes back to June 2024. So you kind of have to remember that when you're using it. I hope they get that caught up so that it's current time, but I'm sure it will. But so basically he said, so this person who was clarifying, well, first of all, and I know people have mentioned this in the community, I noticed it right away. Well, actually, the commentator mentioned this, that Pope Leo the 14th, again, our new Pope, when he did his address, now he speaks 5 languages. He grew up in Chicago. I'm sure everybody's heard that already. Well, he was born in Chicago. I think he spent like 40 years in Peru, if I'm correct, he has spent quite a bit of time in Peru. So he is dual citizen. But when he did his address yesterday, I think it was his blessing. He did it in Italian, Spanish, and Latin, but he didn't do it in English, which I think is amazing because for me, what that says is I am going to represent countries other than English speaking countries to show you that we are very broad, that there is much more going on just than what is going on in English speaking countries. That's kind of how I took it. So really he really, like, from the time that he was selected to the time that he gave this address or this blessing, it couldn't have been that much time. So he was very purposeful about what he wore. It's like incredible, like how he just knew, like, he didn't need that much time to sit on it. I don't know. I just find it fascinating. So anyways, this commentator said there were visual cues about what he was wearing. He decided not to wear traditional inauguration clothing or symbolism such as the stole or the masetta. I don't know what those are. I don't know if the stole is that big white thing. I don't know. I could look it up. You could look it up. You don't have to. You can say it in the comments if you want, but most people probably know what it is. He said that Pope Francis joked many times that his successor would be John the 24th. Now, I don't know what that is. I didn't look that up, but just FYI, that's what he said in case you want to look that up. Pope Leo is tying himself, this is what the commentator said, directly to the Pope who first dealt with the challenge of modern times. Okay. And that was in 1891. All right. So this commentator said he is connecting himself to the first Pope that dealt with challenges of modern times, of the changes in the world because of the industrial and technical revolutions in 1891. Okay. That were taking place then. So I looked up on AI just to see what was this, the key points, the key themes in 1891 in relation to this particular Pope. And it was workers' rights to fair wages and unions, which is incredible. Critique of unrestrained capitalism and socialism. So critique of defense of private property with moral responsibilities, and church's role in social justice. Okay. And so, let's see. See, he only, I was like, well, I don't, I think there's a typo here because there is no Pope Leo the 14th. Because it says, back in, my last update was June 2024, and there was no Pope for Leo the 14th. So, okay. So let's see. Yeah, so he says this Pope in 1981, which was Leo. Okay, so he was also Leo. It was Rerum Novarum 1891 is Leo the 13th's most famous address addressing workers' rights, social justice, and critique of both capitalism and socialism. It's a cornerstone of Catholic social teaching. If this refers to a fictional or okay, no, I don't want to talk about that. But he does say Pope Francis has echoed again rerum. I'm not pronouncing this right. Rerum Novarum. It's RERUM NOVARUM. So he has referenced that as well. And again, it has to do with workers' wages and basically like human rights. So I have heard, I even saw an article yesterday that someone had said, well, the conservatives are, well, let's just say the MAGAs are not very happy with this. I'm sorry, but you don't get to not be happy with the Pope. Just because he doesn't have your political, this isn't a political thing. This is who Jesus was. That's what cracks me up about this whole thing, So there's a lot of people who are going to be re-examining kind of their thoughts about this, I'm sure. But I saw somebody say in an article, he's not very MAGA. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? So anyways, love is shining the way, and America took another one for the team. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? So sorry, I was kind of clumsy through my explanation of Pope Leo, but this, even just looking at the Catholic Church is something very new to me, and it's not something like you can tell some things come very naturally to me when I talk about them. That is not an area that comes naturally to me. So, but the more I talk about it, the more natural it will become. And I think it is going to be, I'm going to keep a very close eye on Pope Leo and his direction, not as following Catholicism doctrine necessarily, but just what is his leadership and how can I, from a spiritual perspective, follow his guidance, So I don't know. I'll see. It'll be kind of interesting. Here's another example of a love winning. Okay. Now, this one, I don't really actually like thinking about this particular topic at all. Actually, it's quite horrifying. So trigger alert. But I'm going to tell you how I think love is this is an example, okay? And again, this was a download that I got yesterday. I don't know how it's going to result, but if we look at things Trumple Thin Skin is doing, if we look at what he's doing right now, okay, and there are some results from some of the things he's doing, unintended results. Okay. He did not intend these results, but this is how I see love winning. So this is where we say, thank you, Trumple Thin Skin. Okay. If this is the case, this is just an example. There's no proof yet. It's not fixed. And I don't know how it would be fixed, but I could see how it might be in the future. Okay. And I am talking about trafficking. I know I hate that topic, but I think we need to talk about it because it is, I don't know, like I can't say that I would have been aware of human and animal trafficking to the extent that I am now only like a couple of years ago, because I don't know, it just came into my consciousness. I don't know, I watched a documentary or something. Actually, I did watch a documentary, and this is what's leading me to this evidence of love winning. The documentary was on, and I have no idea what it was. It was like years ago. Okay. But I was horrified after watching this documentary, and it had to do with our trucking industry. How truckers, and I'm not saying all truckers, this is for entertainment purposes only, and they're allegedly, okay, that there is a trucking aspect of trafficking, human trafficking, probably animal trafficking too, that, and I mean kids and women, probably mostly, probably boys and girls and women. I don't know. I don't have any evidence of any of that, but that the trucking industry, so because they go from like one part of the country to the other, it's easy for them to grab somebody and take them from one part of the country to the other and never be found again because they're moving around, right? And who knows where they go from there. So how I see love winning, that's as far as I'm going to go into that topic, cut, clear, cancel. I just don't like the energy around it at all. I think it's despicable. It's the most, honestly, I would rather someone be murdered, to be honest, cut, clear, cancel, unalived. I would rather face somebody who was unaliving people than face someone who was doing this to people. I find this way more despicable, to be honest. It's like the lowest of the low. To me, it's the lowest energy, that's just me, than unaliving somebody. Because of the experience that this person has to go through. If you're unalived, you just, go to the other realm. But the experience this person has to go through to be trafficked, cut, clear, cancel, allegedly, to me, it's just the lowest of the low. Okay. So that's why, the topic is just, but again, we can't ignore it, right? So, however, okay, so we've got the trucking industry. So the tariffs is the first part of the tariff FAFOs is I'm hearing is from the trucking industry. So they're losing jobs. They're losing, they don't have anything to move, right? If they don't have anything to move, then the trafficking, if this is the case, and again, it was a documentary, I mean, they had quite a bit of proof that this was happening. If this is the case, then maybe trafficking will decrease, okay? How we end it, I don't know, but let's just one step at a time. Okay, now when I thought about that, so this is going to come back to us now. When I thought about this whole scenario, when I first learned about it through how the trucking industry is doing it, I never thought of my role in it. But now I've seen my role in it and my responsibility in human trafficking and animal trafficking because of consumerism. If we weren't such a consumer society, they wouldn't have as much to truck back and forth, would they? So then I saw that in myself today when I was journaling this morning, and I thought, oh my God. So I see my responsibility, and I can thank Trump for that. Trumple thin skin. I can thank him for that because he put this tariff into place. It's making me rethink how things are coming into this country. It's making me rethink my own purchasing behavior. It made me go to this whole trucking industry thing in trafficking and my responsibility. I mean, look at that connection, right? My responsibility in it. And then I was able to get to the Ho'oponopono prayer. So if you're not sure what that is, I do have a video on it and you could just look it up too, but I'll post that video right here. But you basically say, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. Okay. So I wrote in my journal over and over again this morning. So I basically wrote, dear trafficked humans and animals, please forgive me. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you and I thank you. And I wrote that over and over again when I realized my role in it. And so that is how we heal. That is how we heal ourselves. That's how we heal the responsibility. See, this is how I'm waking up. And I think this is how we can see now maybe how F45 from a spiritual perspective needed to happen. Okay. It's just a different perspective. And remember what we've been talking about lately. She said it in this book. New perspectives are the miracles. When you get a new perspective in your life, that's your miracle. Your miracles are not winning the lottery and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So totally new perspective for me in how consumerism, my role in and just being asleep, just totally asleep about it, you know? So now I've come full circle to say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and sending that energy out there. Okay. So then in my journal, which these will be for sale pretty soon, it's a 30-day journal, so you can, do the 30-day challenge if you want to. But did I put anything about this? Yeah. So I'm gonna, it says dear at the end of the journaling for the day, dearest highest self and spirit guides, today I kindly ask for forgiveness and for all of those who have been trafficked based on my consumerism. Okay. And please forgive me. I love you and I thank you. So the Ho'oponopono prayer, very powerful prayer. I don't have like a lot of specifics about it, but you can, ask AI or do a Google search easily on Ho'oponopono. You'll just see it in the video here and you'll see the spelling for it. Okay. So anyways, kind of interesting, how all that kind of came to me yesterday. So this, I think, is an example. The more you do some spiritual exploration for yourself, the more you start to trust the messages you're getting, you're going to start learning more without even having to read something. Like it's just helping me connect. All of a sudden, all the dots are connecting. It's kind of interesting, and just paying attention. When you get that download, it just have I got little sticky notes all over the place. See, those are all my, and then this, this and this and this. So when you get little downloads, you write them down. I got another one to share. I'm going to do it in a separate video though. It's kind of interesting. It has to do with predictions, about how we make predictions with the dowsing rods, or you hear mediums make predictions. I'm going to do a separate video on that. It's kind of interesting perspective that I got. So, okay. So the message for today, let me know what you think about all that. I'd be curious. And I know there's, when you mention, I'm going to continue to say, when you make comments here or anywhere, make comments as if you were talking to somebody in person, and you want to treat people the way you want to be treated. Okay. And just remember that everything you put out there comes back to you tenfold. Okay. So just be careful about that. Okay. So new perspectives, new opinions shared kindly are wonderful. Okay. And that's how people hear you. Okay. But when you snap, when you're just responding from anger, people can't hear you. Okay. So please do that kindly here and everywhere else that you're commenting. That will spread love into the world too. New perspectives without anger. Okay. Okay. So the message for today, I actually put it on this card today. So we've got this message a month ago. It's the same message we got a month ago. So some of us, including myself, I'm sure at times, are still struggling with this. Okay. So I asked, using the pendulum map and a pendulum, for a message from all of our spirit teams today. So they wanted to know, why are you doubting God? Why are you doubting God? So if you're on this spiritual exploration real actively like I am, and in fact, I just got done reading here, if you want to develop your intuition, which is really being able to hear the downloads, okay, and I don't mean hear in your ear, I just mean like trust that you're getting downloads when something comes into your mind, then it needs to be somewhat of a regular basis, developing the relationship with your spirit teams, your higher self, on a regular basis, 15 minutes a day. It could be 15 minutes a day. So one of the things you could do is write this down Why am I doubting God? You could write down, I'm going to write it down for tomorrow, and I will explore this a little bit to see where I am doubting God, because there's certain parts of my life that I'm sure I am. Okay. So that would be a great thing if you wanted to be more active. So just write down, why am I doubting God? Okay. So obviously our teams wanted us to think about that. And then when I pulled this is the card that dropped right away from my deck of like 60 decks. And so let's take a look. Let's take a look. The Keepers of the Light. I will list this below. We have an affiliate link for it. Just means that we get a little credit. It doesn't cost you more. We just get a little credit, supports the channel if you buy through our affiliate link. So let's see what messages they have for us here. Okay, so I close my aura to all but my, whoa. Did you guys want me to have these? Let me just ask before. I haven't even said the prayer yet. I have said the prayer a couple times today, actually. So I feel protected if those, did you guys want these cards to pop? Yes, okay. Both of them? Yes. Did you have any others you wanted me to pull? Yes. Are you wanting 3 cards today? Yes. Is this a pick one opportunity for the community? It is? Okay. Yes. Okay. I'll explain that for those who are new here. If you are new, it'd be amazing if you would subscribe. And our subscribers have slowed down. What's going on, everybody? That's okay. I know. I think part of it is because we were in a growth spurt, and we've been trying to figure out like how to manage the growth spurt for ourselves, and I'm sure that had something to do with it. But okay, so they said there's one more. Okay, let me see if that's it. Yeah, but if you can like this video, and like Venia says, in Venia, who I mentioned earlier, if you like videos, especially of the spiritual people that are really you're enjoying, and any progressive media, it really helps the algorithm to say, oh, more and more people want to hear this, which is what we want, right? We want more and more people to get different perspectives. So just take a moment, you guys. It makes a huge difference, okay? Okay, so is that the third card you guys want us to have? Yes. Okay, so I'm not fully saying the prayer. I hope you guys don't miss it today. Again, I've said it a couple of times because I have to say it before I do pendulum and all that kind of stuff. So let me just ask, is the card on top card number 1? No. Is it card number 2? Yes. Okay, so this one is card number 2, and I'll explain the pick one in a minute. Okay, so that's card number 2. Let me just, I haven't looked at them. I'll just put those there and see if those are correct. Okay, are they in the correct order with card number 1 being on the right? Card number 2 is correct in the middle, so yes and yes. Card number 3 is correct on the left. Yes. Oh, really wide swing. Okay, all right, I hear ya. Okay, all right. So basically what you're gonna do is you're just gonna, take a deep breath, maybe close your eyes. I'll give you about 10 seconds of quiet time, and because I'm gonna do it myself. And then just see if you can even just say in your mind's eye, like 1, 2, or 3, and see if something pops up at you. If it doesn't, it's totally okay. You can just see which message feels right to you. And it may be all 3, it may be just 1, it may be 2, okay? So let's just take like 10 seconds and see what card, and then when I read them, that will be your card. Okay, so that's what the guides are asking us to do today. So from a collective, okay, so your team too is asking us to do this, okay? Okay. So for me, it was interesting. I've been starting to get like pressure. I think this is part of the communication that I'm developing with my team and my higher self. I can start to feel like pressure, sort of like my scalp is falling asleep, like that kind of weird feeling, tingling, pressure. So when I went over two, I got a little bit of, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. That's a very new thing for me as I continue the just letting them know I'm interested in the relationship. So, okay, so let's see. Where's the booklet here? What did I do? Okay. All right, so card number one. All right, so if you picked card number one, let me see. This was upside down. Let me just see if there's a reverse. There is not. Okay. All right, card number one. So if you picked one, and again, you can get messages from all three. Charity, prayer, and contemplation. Connect with heaven, ask, and you shall receive. Yes, spiritual law number one. Christ has 33 spiritual laws according to the book, The Cold and Future, that we read a couple months ago in the Spirit Circle. And spiritual law number one is you have to ask. You have to ask. Which is why in the journal now we have letters and we're asking for help every day. Okay. All right, let's read about that. I don't think there's no numbers. So this is just, let's see how this is laid out here. Oh. Okay, so there's different sections in this book. Oh. Okay, I figured it out. I had to figure out what page she was on. What page are you on, Charity? It is just in alphabetical order. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to read the extended message. Okay. The powerful Archangel Charity is drawing close to you at this time because she has recognized that you have goodness in your heart and you have put others first. She brings you thanks and support. Move into her prayer and meditation with regard to any decisions you have to make at this time. You are being guided to take the time to breathe and receive. Know that you will have a real surge of intuition when it's time to move forward. Okay. Sometimes you just need to do nothing, and that's okay. You're going to get more guidance from doing nothing and then trusting when the guidance comes through inspiration or a new idea than trying to force it, like actively trying to force things. Okay. Thank the angels for guiding you towards your highest good and welcome Charity into this space with you. Cool. I'm not aware of Archangel Charity. I should really read this book. It's all the keepers of the light. So cool. All right. Let me know if that resonated with you. Okay. Oh boy, there's going to be a name I don't know how to pronounce. That's okay. You guys can look at it. So Cloak of Wisdom. This is number 2. This was my card. Oh, there are numbers on. Well, this one has a number on it. Oh no, that's not a number. Is it? No. Okay, Cloak of Wisdom. You already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. Oh. Trust what you know. So you are, okay, those who pick number 2, you already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. All right. Okay. I'll have to think about that because I did, put a whole bunch of stuff in my little thank you note or ask note today to my guides. And they're like, you already know the answer to that. Stop asking us. Okay. The extended message. Knowledge is learned. Wisdom is remembered. You are in a real cloak of wisdom now. Like Kuthumi, I'm just going to pronounce his name as Kuthumi. You have been on a wandering path, trying to find answers through study and the insights of others. But now you are uncovering the truth of your own soul. I would say that's true for me for sure. Your soul is leading the way and you are being encouraged to follow. The fog is clearing. The light has come and it is shining on you. Your soul is saying, yes, it's your cheerleader. Follow it and trust the endless wisdom within you. Go, go, go. Very cool. All right, my other 2s, did that resonate with you? Again, if you didn't choose to, that still can resonate with you. Okay, and that's awesome. All 3 cards I had faced upside down, which is kind of interesting. But this doesn't have a reversed meaning. So, all right. So these are for number 3. Odin, psychic insight. Your third eye is open. See truth for what it is. Follow your intuition. Okay. All right. So you can think of Odin in your mind's eye for a little, maybe he could be your guide today. Okay, Odin. There's one right after that. That's Paul of the Venetian. Oh, Paul of the Venetian. Okay, so you are being encouraged to look beyond what your physical eyes are showing you. Look within and follow your intuition or psychic visions. You may want to plan ahead at this time. It's important to keep your mind and energy focused on the best possible outcome. There will be signs and symbols from the light to tell you that you are on the right path. Be aware of winged beings gracing your path. What? Be aware of winged beings gracing your path as a wink from Odin and the light keepers to say that they are honoring your work. Be aware of winged beings. I don't know. That could be birds, right? You could watch for little fairies. You never know. You might see a fairy show up. That'd be cool. A dragon. They have wings, right? I think. All right. Did you guys get it? What did you get? I thought this was very appropriate for me today. Number 2. What card resonated with you today? And was it one that you kind of thought that you got as sort of a download? The number, was it accurate for you today? All right. Well, have an amazing day, and I will see you later. Have a great one. Bye-bye.